Welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. Born on this date in 1904, jazz vocalist and pianist Clarence Pinetop Smith of Troy and Birmingham. Now, listen to 1928's Pinetop's Boogie Woogie, and you can hear a lot of what we heard later from rock and roll and R&B. Pinetop was shot and killed in Chicago at age 24. Today, we have another nitrogen execution, a name for the land between the rivers, and Alabamians on your baseball all-star game ballots. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The state executed convicted killer Gregory Hunt on Tuesday via the nitrogen gas method, reports AL.com's Ivana Rincu and Savannah Tryons-Fernandez. Now, like all Alabama executions, it took place at William C. Holman Correctional Facility in Atmore. It was Alabama's 5th execution by nitrogen. It was the state's 3rd execution this year and 2nd by nitrogen. Since Alabama became the first to use the method last year, Louisiana first used nitrogen in an execution earlier this year. Hunt was executed for killing Karen Sanders Lane of Walker County in 1988. Lane's injuries included 20 head injuries, 24 fractured ribs, a fractured breastbone, bruises to her lungs and heart, tears to her liver, aorta, and pancreas, and bleeding in her neck muscles. In a recent appeal attempt, Hunt tried to argue that the charge shouldn't have been capital murder because he claimed there was no sexual assault technically, only abuse of corpse. Hunt spent 35 years on death row. When she died, Karen Lane was 32 years old. Yesterday, we mentioned that it was the birthday of the late biologist and premier ant expert E.O. Wilson. The Nature Conservancy in Alabama and the E.O. Wilson Biodiversity Foundation also announced on Tuesday that the 8,000-acre nature preserve in the Mobile-Tensas River Delta, known as the Land Between the Rivers, will be officially named for Wilson, reports AL.com's Margaret Cates. Wilson was born in Birmingham and spent parts of his youth in Mobile and Decatur. The tract that will be known as the E.O. Wilson Land Between the Rivers Preserve was purchased last year by the Nature Conservancy, Patagonia, and a donor. It's part of the area considered one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. Well, fan voting has started for next month's Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and 3 players from Alabama are on the ballot, reports AL.com's Mark Avenant. Fans vote on position players, that's non-pitchers, through 11 a.m. June 6th. You can vote up to 5 times per 24-hour period. At that point, the top overall vote getter in each league automatically makes the lineup for the other positions. It's like a political runoff, with another round of fans selecting between the top 2 players at each position. Then reserves and pitchers will be selected by player voting in the commissioner's office. Okay, you got all that? Well, the players from Alabama are Colorado Rockies left fielder Jordan Beck of Hazel Green, St. Louis Cardinals second baseman Brendan Donovan of Enterprise, and Baltimore Orioles shortstop Gunnar Henderson of Selma's Morgan Academy. Henderson was the American League Rookie of the Year in 2023 and started last year's All-Star game. Brendan Donovan's currently hitting .310, although he left last night's game and is day-to-day with a hurt toe. And Jordan Beck, or Mike Honcho, if you prefer, has an OPS over 800 and has earned a starting spot in Denver in his second season in the show. The All-Star Game will be July 15th at Truist Park in Atlanta. You can vote online at MLB.com. Thank y'all so much for listening to us. We're going to be back here in the morning. Until then, y'all come by anytime you want to and see what we're doing on the internet at AL.com.